Today on CCX News, a Crystal woman's medical curveball. How in the face of adversity, she's the one that's lifting others up. Life can hit you with some pretty scary challenges. A young Crystal woman knows that firsthand. As Kevin Miller reports, her battle is one that's filled with hope.
Our defense is exceptionally well this year, and that's what carried us most of the way here.
CCX first met Haley Ingebrigtsen as an athlete playing sports at Cooper High School.
Oh yes, I loved it. On the adopted team, it was awesome.
She was born with cerebral palsy and found her home on the court.
I loved it so much. I miss it. I wish I failed a couple grades.
Terry Hansen met Haley a decade ago at their church and watched her compete.
We would just see her really just light up and enjoy being there and being active with the other kids.
Haley made a lasting impression.
Always happy, always smiling, always willing to help. Like if we needed help, anything, she was always willing to help.
Yeah.
But now at 25 years old, Haley needs some help of her own.
I was kind of out of it the first few days. I don't remember much.
While working as a school bus driver this September, she had a seizure and hit a car. When she woke up, she didn't know what happened.
A cop was there, came over and talked to me, and then an ambulance came.
After testing, doctors found she had an aggressive form of brain cancer. And without surgery, she wouldn't live long.
The initial 2 months prognosis was pretty scary, but I decided to do the surgery. So they say I have like 8 to 10 years that put on my life again.
Doctors removed about half the tumor and Haley started radiation treatment. And if she's been worried, she hasn't shown it.
I feel like I had to be strong for everybody else. I know everybody kept saying that I didn't, but that's just how I feel.
But fighting cancer is costly. Bills can range in the tens of thousands of dollars. Terry wanted to help her friend out by hosting a fundraiser.
I wanted to make sure that we could have a day where she can just be happy and not worry about anything that day. Just worry about her and get healthy.
For her part, Haley hopes her optimistic outlook
I can't wait to see where I can go after this.
can help others with difficult news from a doctor.
If you get this diagnosis, I'm sorry, but just know that you can come out stronger on the other side.
Kevin Miller, CCX News.
The fundraiser is this Saturday from 9 to noon at Down the Street Nutrition in Brooklyn Park. Haley also has a GoFundMe campaign. We'll have more details at ccxmedia.org. The Brooklyn Park Theater nonprofit is also facing a challenge. It's in search of a new home.
Being at the mercy of rental space is very tiring. We're on their schedule, and as of this fall, we don't have this space.
Kaleidoscope Performing Arts provides acting opportunities for youth as well as adults too, but it's currently in a bind. Its lease at Elysian Playhouse in Crystal is up, and the nonprofit faces an uncertain future. It hopes to continue its mission.
We are making a difference, and we see that in the families that's coming here. We see it on the kids. We have a community that's amazing.
Kaleidoscope is trying to spread the word about finding new theater space. We'll have details on that at ccxmedia.org. This weekend, Kaleidoscope Performing Arts is putting on its version of Disney's Beauty and the Beast. Dustin Scholl gives us a sneak peek in today's weekend showcase.
So many people know the story of Beauty and the Beast. I mean, it's a tale as old as time. There's definitely so many layers to our characters that we get to open up and bring to the story as we go. I start out as just this is me, but then over the course of the show, getting to meet Belle and see the love that the Beast and Belle have for each other, it definitely changes us.
Akerson came back. I couldn't let them. If only I'd come sooner.
That classic story, the story of love, friendship, the story has such a powerful message.
There's always hope for a brighter tomorrow, and we can see in this world that hope does win. Good does come out in the end.
No one fights like Gaston. Else's fights like Gaston.
Gaston's a fun role. He goes after everything, thinking that he's just top dog. He knows what he's doing. He's strong, he's confident. In this case, it's the prince had a spell cast on him. He needs help from this princess. She needs to fall in love with him. He'll fall in love with her. That spell will break. The prince and the princess come together happipily ever after.
Performances of Beauty and the Beast Junior at Elysian Playhouse in Crystal run through Sunday. Local sports fans now have a new place to buy merchandise of their favorite team. Rally House opened in the Maple Grove Crossing Shopping Center. The store has thousands of items for fans of the Vikings, Gophers, Twins, Timberwolves, and Wild. This is the 5th Rally House location in Minnesota, but it's the only one in the West Metro.
It's kind of like a home away from home if you like sports. You can talk sports all day. We have people here all sports minded. Questions on the Vikings. We have a lot of people who come here to small talk us all day, and then they leave with like a new hat or a new jersey.
Rally House even has a dedicated spot in the corner of the store for fans of a certain pro football team based in Wisconsin. Finally, this segment, a special shed up for auction in Maple Grove. This one is unique because it was crafted by Maple Grove senior high schoolers. 2 classfuls of residential construction students designed and built the shed together.
It just kind of runs the full gamut and supports a lot of different careers that are high paying, in demand, and highly skilled.
To like be immersed in that and get to see day by day the progression, it's so gratifying to look at the end.
The shed is up for auction online. It's designed to be insulated so it can be used as a storage shed, tiny home, or a man cave. The auction closes on Tuesday, December 10th, and the funds go right back into the program.
It's always a big game when Champlin Park and Andover boys hockey face off against each other. On Thursday night, the Rebels and Huskies met up and played in a game that was much bigger than just hockey. Chaz Moots has the story.
At the Champlin Park Ice Forum, the game gets a little bigger for the boys in blue and white when the Andover Huskies come into their barn. Head coach Tom Potter,
it's a rivalry game, right? So you want to make sure you bring your best.
Has never beat the Huskies in his 5 years on the job.
Nothing like beating a conference opponent.
As the first period puck drop approaches, the forum fills up with orange. Tonight's rivalry game, bigger than just hockey.
It's been a rough week for sure.
Max Akerson, a sophomore goaltender in the Rebels hockey program, passed away last Tuesday, ending a 3-year battle with stage 4 liver cancer. One of Max's best friends and JV teammates, Easton Rodmacher, knows how much Max cared.
It was my first time going to a new school, and Max was the first person to come up to me. It just really shows what kind of person he was.
And how hard Max fought.
He was going through some really tough stuff, but every day he would make it to practice. He would fight as hard as he could.
Max dreamed of one day starting as goalie for the Rebels on varsity.
I remember one of the last times I got to see him was the picture day, and he was not doing too great that day, but the one thing he told me was how much he wanted to be on the ice, how bad he wanted to throw his pads back on.
As the first few seconds ticked off the clock against Andover, it was Max who got his first varsity start.
Remember reading on Max's carrying bridge, he wanted to be on the high school team, wanted to play high school hockey, and we wanted to honor him and give him his night in the net.
In Champlin, Chaz Moots, CCX Sports.
The Gophers football team signed the top 3 Minnesota high school recruits this week. That includes Cooper standout Emmanuel Karmo. Jay Wilcox has more.
For Cooper's standout linebacker Emmanuel Karmo, who was honored at a ceremony at his high school Wednesday, the choice to attend the University of Minnesota to play for P.J. Fleck and the Gophers was largely about family.
I felt like the first thing they want to do was build a relationship with my parents. And like I said back there, where would I be without my parents? So I feel like Wisconsin, they wanted to see how quick my first step was, what is my 40 time, and stuff like that. And I feel like that's just not where I was.
Karmo is ranked as Minnesota's top recruit from the class of 2025. He committed early to Minnesota, but was still getting a lot of interest from other Big Ten teams.
They definitely came at me. I mean, Nebraska, Wisconsin, Michigan, they came at me, but I didn't show no mind, to be honest. I'm committed to Minnesota.
Karmo had 64 tackles, 2 sacks, and an interception, while also rushing for 5 touchdowns and catching 22 passes on offense. He'll enroll early at the U in January and is hoping to make an immediate impact for the Gophers next fall. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Maple Grove and Osseo finished 4th and 5th, respectively, at the Section 5AA Gymnastics meet last February. Those 2 teams met up Thursday night. Season opener for both the Crimson and the Orioles Thursday. On the vault, this is Osseo's Delana Mansky. The 8th grader lands with a score of 8.55, best on the team for this night. All 5 Orioles vaulters score at least an 8.1. Maple Grove's Lily Thole, one of the top returning Crimson gymnasts from a year ago, came in with her team's top vault Thursday, scoring an 8.275. Balance beam and Osseo's Ella Hagelin with a good routine. She scores a 9.125, best in the meet on any of the 4 events, on her way to the individual all-around title. Staying with the beam, and Maple Grove's Julia Schlangen is her team's top athlete on the beam in this meet. Her score is 7.775. Osseo's Hagelin finishes tonight with a 4-exercise routine that lands her with a score of 9.05. Osseo wins the meet 121.525 to 116.5 for Maple Grove. It's the Orioles' first ever win over the Crimson in program history. In Maple Grove, John Jacobson, CCX Sports.